In this week's video, I am going to tell you how you can get more, put the word more in the chat, more of what you want. All of your dreams, all of your desires that you've been praying for, wishing for, believing in, thinking about, journaling about, I'm gonna tell you the secret sauce to make that happen. You're gonna love it. All right, I recently started Pilates, and before I started Pilates, I never knew that there were 5 Pilates studios in about a 5-mile radius of my home. In fact, I started Pilates and now all I see are Pilates studios. I saw one last night while I was driving. I saw one the other night when I was driving, and I have driven by these Pilates studios for the last 19 years. I've lived in this community. 19 years. Did I once see these studios? In fact, I would actually go and park next to the Pilates studio at 2 different locations at multiple times over these last 19 years, never even saw it. Why am I telling you this? Because you have your goals, you have your dreams, you have the things that you want on your vision board, and yet you don't think they are there. They are there. Everything is already here and it's already done. So use this acronym. It's called HERE. They are already here. H is here. Remind yourself it's already here. E is expect. Expect that what you want wants you, and it's coming for you because it's already here. R stands for results. Remind your mind frequently, what do you want? What that will do when you focus on your results, this activates the reticular activating system of your brain. This is the part of the brain that acts as a filter. When you buy a red car, all you see are red cars. I recently bought a new white car. All I see is a white car everywhere. That's all I see. I never saw them before. And so getting that reticular activating system, focus on the results that you want so you can filter your brain to focus on what you want. Now, you probably have already done that. You know what you want. You're writing about it. You're journaling about it. You might even visualize it. You might be having a vision board. But are you doing the next E in here? Expect it. Are you expecting that it's already done, that it's already here, that it wants you? Or are you walking around arguing for your limitations? Now, I've been a coach 19 years and I see my clients do this. They want a $30,000 client, but they don't think there are any $30,000 clients out there. Or they want their first $10,000 client, but they're like, there's no way, no one I know would ever pay that. And I don't know where these people are when there are 8 billion people on the planet. What are your limitations? So the biggest mistake is that you are arguing for your limitations and you think that you're right. And the second mistake is that you are arguing for your limitations and you are also expecting to lose. You're expecting to fail. You're expecting that it won't work out for you. You're expecting that it's going to be hard. You're expecting that you're not worth it. You're expecting that other people can have it, but you can't. So you have unrealistic expectations that are not in your favor. And the third mistake is that you are not seeing that it's already here because you are limiting yourself by focusing on impossible versus possible. So 2 things could be true. Have you ever seen a one-sided piece of paper before? No. Have you ever seen a one-sided pancake before? No. Have you ever seen a one-sided hand before? No. Why? Because it's a law of polarity. There are 2 sides to everything. But what happens is if you're not getting what you want, you are focusing on what's impossible. You're focusing on what can't be done. And that is because of the limited programming. We were all programmed. We're in a hypnotic system where through all the years of schooling, I have even a master's degree. I went to so much school. So through all those years and the conditionings and the TV and the media and your parents' programming and their parents' programming and your friends' programming and their friends' parents' programming. There's a lot of programming. And if you are an entrepreneur, if you've ever watched any TV, who are always the bad guys in TV? If you're an entrepreneur, you know that most of the bad guys in the TV are the rich people. The rich people are always the bad guys. So you've been programmed to not even think that you can succeed. Or hello, any Disney movie out there? Have you seen Cinderella, right? Like if you do get what you want, you're hated because you're going to be cast away because you are beautiful and successful and you are loved and you're the princess, you're going to be cast away. Or think about Rapunzel. Why am I bringing this up? Because all of this program is so deep in our subconscious mind, collectively, and then inside yourself, that no wonder you're focusing on why it can't happen. So I'm going to share with you a Bible verse, which is found in Genesis, and you're going to love it. This is a really great story of a woman who did not understand the blessing. So this is in Genesis 21:15, and it's a story of, just quick little backstory. So Abraham was promised that he was going to have as many children as the sand, and he was told that he was going to have a baby by God, but it took a long time. He was in his 90s. His wife was in his 90s. I mean, talk about managing your expectations. Anyway, so instead his wife said, you know what? I'm not very patient. Just go ahead and sleep with my slave. And then so he was like, sure, I'll go sleep with your slave. No big deal. And then he and the slave had a baby. But after a while, Sarah, who was Abraham's wife, got really jealous of this baby and sent the slave and the baby off. Okay, so how would you feel if you were the slave, Hagar, and Ishmael, the son? So, of course, you'd feel all the horrible things, right? So this is what she said. Okay, so cast her away, and here she is. Hagar is has a bottle of water, and she's out in the wilderness. And she's out in the wilderness all by herself, and she's just supposed to take this little 12-year-old and go somewhere. Can you imagine? And she's feeling alone, and she's sobbing, and she's thinking I just drank all my water. There's nothing else. How can I even protect my child? We're screwed. So this is what it says, Abraham. So it says, early the next morning, Abraham took some food and a skin of water and gave them to Hagar. He set them on her shoulders and then sent off her with the boy. She went on her way and wandered in the desert of Beersheba. How horrible is that? When the water in the skin was gone, she put the boy under the bushes. Get some shade, bro. Then she went off and sat down about a bow shot away, for she thought, I cannot watch the boy die. Okay, talk about her expectations. And as she sat there, she began to sob. How many of you have been like that? Oh, my dreams aren't going to come true. I'm never going to get my clients. It's not going to happen. I'm not worthy. I'm not deserving. I mean, I know I have. I mean, I've been there. So, I'll just talk to you about that. But anyway, God, hearing the boy crying, and the angel of God called to Hagar from heaven and said to her, okay, so God heard the boy crying. What's the matter, Hagar? Can you imagine if God's asking you what's the matter? You're in the middle of the desert with your son trying to fend for yourself. That's great. And he says, do not be afraid. God has heard the boy crying as he lies there. Lift the boy up and take him by the hand, for I will make him into a great nation. Okay, we all have God's promises, and they're in the Bible. Okay, so I actually have written up here pages and pages of God's promises. And if you stand on these promises, this is what you have to do. Okay, we may not have the angel of the Lord coming and talking to us like this, but we have the word, which is in the Bible, and you can stand on those. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, then God opened her eyes. Hello, Pilates studios everywhere I see. Hello, those 25K, 100K clients, 10K clients, whatever you want, they are here. Those stages and places are here. Then God opened her eyes and she saw a well of water. Hello, in her misery, she didn't see the well of water, but all of a sudden God opened her eyes. Put in the chat, open my eyes, if you want to start seeing the blessings that have already been given to you. So she went and filled the skin with water and gave the boy a drink. God was with the boy as he grew up. He lived in the desert and became an archer. Okay, do you hear that? Then God opened her eyes. Open your eyes. It is everywhere. Everything you want is already here. Stop arguing for your limitations. So start arguing for your limitations. Start focusing on here. It's here. Expect it. What are the results I want? Remind yourself of your results and then expect it again. Empower your possibility. Stop empowering your impossibility. I hope this blesses you today. Open up to miracles. I want to hear about the miracles. Put in the chat miracles, because a miracle is about to break out for you. I can feel it. I can see it. Just, if God can open your awareness as he has for me with this Pilates studio, and that's just a little thing, don't you think he loves you so much that he wants to open all the possibilities for you as well? If you want my little cheat sheet here on the Sword of the Spirit, we've got 4 pages of God's promises. Put in the comments promises, and I'll get you this, okay? Put in the comments promises, and I'll give you this handout, which you will love. All right, so make sure you watch the next video. Be sure to like and subscribe, and open your eyes.